Hello, and welcome back to the Coop De Villa channel. I'm Scott Cooper, and I'm here with Noah Fisher and Tommy Lazaridis to review Newcastle United versus Aston Villa. Yes, Villa are back, and are we back indeed? It's a horror show, a new season nightmare, and we will be getting into all of that, all the good, all the bad, and all the ugly after this. Okay, yeah, so we were kicking off the new season. We're all very excited after a promising preseason, and we just go and absolutely shit the bed up at Newcastle. A horrible result, and probably even worse than the result. Well, definitely worse than the result, Noah, is the injury to Mings. Tyrone Mings, our captain, our big presence at the back, looks to be out with an ACL. The club just released a statement a few hours ago saying it's a serious knee injury. So that doesn't sound good at all. And he looked in absolute agony, and you couldn't help but feel for him.
I still feel for him. It's just typical Villa, isn't it? I don't think there's been a season since we've been promoted that we haven't had one or two serious injuries. So you look back at the first season, it was Wesley and McGinn. It was then Trezeguet, it was Diego Carlos, and now it's Buendia and Mings. And it's just typical Villa. The preseason went so smoothly. We're finally looking great, pushing towards Europe. And one of the players that I think deserve European football so much, part of the group, is poor Tyrone Mings, and his season is over. And I don't know how much that impact his career, actually, because he's now getting to the wrong side of 30. And I just seeing the videos of him in that pain, it really hurt. I think all Villa fans were hurting. Yeah. And I just wish him the best of recovery. Obviously, saying of Buendia, and hopefully see him back better and stronger and better.
That's it, Tommy. I mean, he's our captain. We're going into European football this year. He probably thinks he's got a good chance of lifting a trophy, in the Europa Conference League. And, it looks like he won't be given that opportunity now. It's just so sad to see.
Yeah, I actually think it was the turning point of the game. I just think we looked so disenchanted when he went off. We almost lost that commanding presence, his leadership. And I've been one to slate him when he makes mistakes, but, just him being on the pitch, just that big presence is such a difference for us, right? And, I think they really picked our pocket, second half, just exposed the offside trap. And to be honest, Mings is actually quite fast for a centre-back, so I don't think as much damage would have happened had he have still been on. Honestly, just devastated for him. And I thought maybe he's milking it a bit, when he was down. But then I saw him, just the shirt over the head. And I think I put in the group chat, I said, he's in tears. He's really, something's bad. Something's going on here. So wish him all the best, honestly. Don't even know what to say. Just gutted for him. We thought it was bad with Buendia and now Mings. And to be honest, I wonder if something... Is the training regime? Is there something going on? Because all of a sudden it's just two ACLs or serious injuries.
You can't blame training for that. They're the most unlucky injuries going around.
This is true. But
it's not like a soft tissue.
And it was weird. It wasn't really like a hard challenge, was it? No, it was he sort of got bumped off balance and he sort of fell awkwardly and his leg kind of buckled. It was horrible.
That's all it takes for an ACL. Unfortunately, as soon as you see the replays back, I knew. Obviously, loving sport as much as I do, you see a lot of Aussie rules, and a lot of people won't know, but there's such a regular occurring injury in players. You probably get like 5 or 6 a season, maybe. Yeah, felt as how agile everyone is, and as soon as you see it happen, you just know straight away. My heart sunk, and it still makes me feel sick when you see all the videos on Twitter. And it just hurts. Yeah, and then I think once the Newcastle fans kind of knew how serious it was, they all kind of said, "Oh crap. Oh, this guy's really hurt." I know he cops a lot of slack from Villa fans. He cops slack from everyone. But this guy has been unbelievable for England. He's been unbelievable for Aston Villa Football Club. And I think it was just nice to see the whole of St James's Park just show their appreciation towards him.
Yeah, that was a classy
One lot of fans I will call out are those dog shit United fans. Because I went on Twitter and they're all like, "Oh, karma for that time you elbowed Ibra." I think there's a time where this is actually pre-Villa at Bournemouth.
This was, like 2017, yeah.
Yeah, I think when it was at Bournemouth, and he stepped on a guy's back. Fair enough. Like, it's a centre back. They're meant to be a bit dirty. But to wish someone, bad wishes because of that, I mean, that's pretty petty and that's pretty low. You know, there's players I give crap to, there's teams I give crap to, but when you see a player go down like that, it's bigger than football as well.
That's it. And he seems like such a nice guy. He's so well spoken. He's got my full respect as a human being.
He's turned his career around. Turned his career around, and I think we got the best end of him, to be honest. I think that 20 million signing from Bournemouth, he's worth at least double, maybe triple that in today's market, right?
Well, he's worth that. He's priceless to Villa, isn't he?
Agreed. I agree. I think
he's absolutely priceless.
When we signed him after the loan, though, I think every Villa fan was elated, right? You know, to be honest, he probably could have gone to another club. He probably was too good for Villa at that. Yeah, he was too good for us at the time, and you know, now that he's got a couple of England caps under his belt, he's certainly in the mix. If not starting, he's probably first one.
He's up there, but I think what hurts even more, I think, is he knew, because I think before he came to Villa, he was heavily injured a fair bit, and I think he actually did an ACL at Bournemouth.
Correct,
right?
I think so. I think he would have known, and it's not just like yes, I know he's a footballer and he's getting paid X amount. Like, put that out the window. He's a human being.
Yeah.
And he would be absolutely devastated. Like, for example, he can't go to work. His job for 12 months, and his whole life has been altered, and he's just, my heart just...
And that's the other thing, right? Like, one bad injury, I hope he comes back well, but some players never do know. It's more of a mental thing.
That's what I mean.
People talk, they get paid all this money.
It doesn't matter.
They've sacrificed their childhood. They only know eat, sleep, play football. When he can't do anything and he's in probably a cast or a moon boot, whatever it is, for a year, it's going to take a long time to properly recover, and it's not the first time. So maybe it's aggravated. I do know once you do your knee, it's something about, like, with the tissue, it's never 100%.
It can happen again. It happens here more.
It's easy. That's right. That's right. Yeah. And the thing is, it's never 100% again. So his tissue might only be 90-something%. You know, any physios in there in the comment section? Anyone with some Muhammad Adam? Anyone with some background info? Feel free to chime in. But
and the other horrible thing is, like, this is the time that he should be enjoying in his career. This is his prime years. He got dropped by Steven Gerrard, went through all the tough times of relegation battles and time in the championship and all this sort of stuff. And we finally got to a spot where we've got a solid squad, we've got a great manager, we've got European football, and it's just the timing is awful. Same for Emi Buendia.
Yeah.
Because he had just had probably his best preseason as well. So thoughts go out to those two. But from a Villa point of view, we really need to move in these last couple of weeks of the transfer window, and we got to replace these guys, because all of a sudden we're looking a little bit thin.
Oh, massively
thin. I'm probably going to agree with the great Mo and Yunus. I saw a comment of his post game. We probably need a good 4 to 5 signings, and I'll probably say 2, if not 3 of them. Probably need to be in the back. I think we were just so leaky. I mean, we'll touch on it shortly, but we really miss Mink's presence. Yes, we have. I don't know if I'm going to say capable replacements, but I know Carlos and Torres can do a job. We haven't actually seen half a season, let alone a full season, to make a proper analysis or justification if they're good enough. Yes, we shelled out big money. Like I said, I think Torres was pretty good when he came on, but all in all, the high line got exposed, for their last couple of goals, right?
Definitely.
And, I don't know, I'd say we've got Torres and Carlos, and again, Konsa was just exposed once Mings went off. So I think we've realised how important Mings is for Konsa's confidence, because to be honest, I'd be starting Carlos and Torres. They've got that little bit of, Spanish contingency, whatever it is, Brazil, Spain, same shit. I said, I think they're actually a better pairing than Konsa. So either Konsa goes to right back, or, it's Carlos and Torres, because we need to change things up and we need to change them quick.
Absolutely. And that high line was exposed early. We had the 2 early goals with the coming from set pieces, soft goals. And Tonali got the first one for Newcastle.
Calling him flop of the season. What a debut, mate.
Yeah, and he was completely unmarked in the middle. And it's just it was so easy for Newcastle just to go through the middle, and they were stronger than us. They were running more than us. They wanted it more than us, and the proof was in the pudding.
On top of that,
you go first,
right? I said on top of that, Nanny McPhee or Emery, what the fuck is John McGinn doing manning Dan Burn on set pieces?
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Right? And I think that's how the goal came, the second one, right?
Yeah, the second one.
It's just so Tonali switched on, Matt, right? Like, real time, he's reacted saying, he's got a 2 foot on him. Why would you not go to Burns' head? Ridiculous. And again, it was actually man marking as well on corners. It was I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, it was quite obvious what they were going to do, and the commentator actually said during the game that Emery was going mad on the sideline trying to switch them over.
Yeah, that was literally before that goal.
Yeah,
like second before that goal. But something and I think we can agree, one thing that Emery did so well last season at Villa, especially when we went away, is we take the sting out of the game. The Newcastle crowd was so up for that game. They were buzzing, Champions League football, new season. And what we do, after 6 minutes, they are absolutely flying. The crowd's up and about, and that's one thing that, like, a place like St James's Park, obviously I've never been there personally, but you see it and you hear about it, like the fans are very good. And that's the one thing you got to do is you got to nullify those fans. And yeah, Tonali couldn't have asked for a better debut. Could we have defended better? Yes. I mean, I was going to touch on Konsa. I don't know what has happened to him. I know you say Mings goes off, but he actually played well with like Chambers and stuff in the past. He just had an absolute stinker. And
that third goal was icing on the cake. And I thought we had a little spell where we probably could have equalised. We'll touch shortly on the magnificent Moussa Diaby, probably the only shining light.
Literally. I think Coutinho did well when he came on as well. We'll touch on those two a little bit later.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, Diaby does score to make it 1-1. And it was a great goal. And we were looking dangerous going forward at times, but I just felt like you were talking about taking the sting out of the game. How Emery's normally done that in the past is the possession, and with, confidence of playing the ball through the midfield and, keeping it at the back as well. And I just felt Luiz and Kamara, this might have been for them two, their worst games I've seen in the whole time of the club.
Kamara got bossed, and to be honest, Kamara's good, but is he this ball-winning CDM that we probably need? I still think maybe someone like the likes of that Amrabat, if he's been signed, he's been signed. I don't know what's going on in the market, but I think we need an absolute bulldog in that position right now.
Yeah.
Well, I think that him and Luiz are very similar. They're quite kind of calm and languid with their sort of body language, and that can be good if they're on it. That means that they're calm with their passing, but sometimes it makes them look a little bit lazy and a little bit like they don't really care. There was one point in the second half where Kamara gives the ball away and then just stops and lets the Newcastle player take off and doesn't track back.
They're just tugging the shirt, like really weak defense, right? Like just put your body in front of the ball, win the ball. Don't tug their shirt because you've been lazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to knock them, though, because they were sensational last season. And we know Unai Emery, he hated losing any game. And to start a season like that, when we're potentially, according to some people, pushing top 4, he would have absolutely had a rocket up their ass all week. And I mean, I'm looking forward to the response against Everton, the Cooper Cup, as we should call it, in the Coop De Villa.
Definitely, and I'm not that worried. I think that these results can happen, and we could have played a great game and lost to Newcastle away. It is
we lost last year as well. We did.
We haven't won there since 2005.
Wow.
So these things can happen, and it's all about Everton and this weekend. Now, I mean, it does put a lot of pressure on us, because if we did get beat in that game against an Everton team that can't score a goal to save their lives, then there would be question marks starting to come in. But I think on one bad result, where for an hour of the game we weren't great, but we weren't awful. It was all about that last half hour and how we capitulated that really left a bad taste in everyone's mouth. Yeah.
I think the part that I'm upset with, Scott, is this Emery ball, playing it out from the back. And I know some people are a fan of it. I know you love it. I think there's a time and a place for it, right?
So
we're just telegraphing everything the whole time, and I was almost hoping we'd concede another one, right? Because it was just ridiculous. I know that we say until it works. It's been 6 months plus a preseason, and we're still getting exploited, right? So that's my only worry, is that other teams they're picking out the high line, they're picking out the playing it out from the back. Emery needs to do this so-called adjustment in game and figure it out quick, because I think other teams are switching on quick.
I agree with you that you obviously have to do it at the right times. I think we just need to strengthen the defense, really, in terms of
we need a right back.
We need a right back, and we need another centre.
But Cash has dropped so much. He was like the player's player 2 seasons ago. What's happened?
I don't know, but
I
he
don't know.
certainly missed a great chance that would have made it 3-2. And, who knows what can happen from there. And, they go down the other end, score the fourth. So,
and that's right. Preseason's one thing, right? When he's smacking them in, I said, but, game time, good players come ready. And I'll give full credit to Newcastle. They've got a lot of firepower. Joel Linton bossed the midfield with Gamerish. We're giving him crap.
Isaac was good.
Isaac, right? You expect it. People, I will say one thing to all the trolls out there, right? I said, Barnes, Leicester got relegated, goal assist. Madison, Leicester got relegated, 2 assists, right? So I know we were linked with both, and I'm just saying I think they would have been great additions. Tielemans, I think he'll start next game. I think he'll need a bit to adjust, but to be honest, personally, I'm just gutted that we didn't get Barnes. We all knew what type of quality he has, and he just destroyed us when he came on.
And the other guy the other guy that's starting to be a bit of a worry is Emi Martinez for me. Like that whole incident where he came out the box and tried to drag the guy down. He was very lucky to get away with the yellow, in my opinion. And they're cracking down on all this goalkeeper antics and all that sort of stuff, like the time wasting and all that kind of stuff that we know Emi is a master at, and we love it when he does it and it works, right? But I can see him missing games this year through, possibly too many yellows, this sort of thing.
I love Emmy, Scott, but to be honest, part of me thinks I think that's actually past post World Cup antics. Part of me thinks maybe he does want out. So I think he's going to make little, silly, niggly mental blanks. I think he's pushing for a move, and that's just my theory.
Well, I think he's certainly read some of his own press, and he kind of. He wants to be this bad boy.
I think he's in his own head. You're right, Scott. Spot on. Right? He's actually. I think you saw in a lot of just YouTube comments off the sport, just the highlights. Everyone goes, "Oh, nothing better than seeing Debu get 5 put past him."
Right.
Is that the first time for Villa he has? I reckon that's the most he's conceded.
I think so.
I reckon it would be the most he's conceded in a Villa shirt. Obviously, I'm the statistician and I'm asking for stats, so I should actually know the answer to this. I reckon it would be though.
Sack him.
I think this
we don't have a very good backup goalkeeper. That's another issue. If Emmy did get a red card and missed a couple of games, then we'd have Olsen, and that's no good.
I'm not getting paid millions, Scott, but how's no one at Villa, Emery or head of whoever it is, right? How have they not realised that we need a better backup?
Emery came out and stated he's happy with Olsen. That's what Emery said.
Emery. That's a problem. Emery has mental health issues.
Sorry, keep going. I was just going to say the other thing that a lot of Villa fans I saw online was saying that, okay, who was the star or the surprise packet in preseason? It was
Philogene. Where was
he? Exactly. And we go to the first game of the season and he starts Bailey. Now,
that's right.
We did predict that last week that would probably happen. He'd go for sort of the more tried and tested player. But, if you were ever going to give him a chance, and maybe he'll get a chance against Everton, we'll have to wait and see, because he did come on in the match.
He deserves it.
Yeah, I think he does deserve it. And, it would be a bold, move, but I think, you've got to play players that are in form and that are scoring goals.
Exactly, Scott. Go on form, right? I know he's young, but hang on. If we've unearthed a gem, well, now we don't need to go sign a player. Not so long ago, Jacob Ramsey was a youth product that we gave a chance to, and God knows how much he's worth in today's market.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely.
And I mean, if Philogene was actually linked with Liverpool, well, that speaks volumes, right? Because they've got a lot of firepower, and if they see something, well, clearly we're not.
That's it. And I mean, I would like to think that he's in serious consideration for Everton next Sunday,
I think so.
Which is really a big 6-pointer for us now, because
massively.
We don't want to get dragged into anything down there. I mean, we've got European football as well. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think we're going to get dragged into it. I think this is just a bump in the road. I think obviously no one expected this. I think it's not as big of a shock as Bournemouth away last year, but it kind of feels that low. I actually kind of think it feels lower. But a lot of people are saying nothing beats the Bournemouth away last year. I've
seen a lot of Villa fans also say, don't forget Argentina lost their first game of the World Cup too. So I'm going to roll with that for now.
That's true. It's true. But I think we should segue into something positive because, Scott, you did say we'll do some positive. And
Let's two words, mate. Musa
Diaby
Diaby.
is a player. Is a player.
He's a player. He took his goal very well.
Don't worry about the goal. His runs, his pace. He's got a good eye, man. Like,
He's
got just a lot of energy. I think he looked a little bit lost at one point, and I think Emery was telling him to track back, and then he did what he needed to do. But he's dangerous. And he links up well with Ollie. He looked for Ollie. Ollie should have actually put one away. And I've said this, and again, I love Ollie. He's not clinical enough. He's good. He's a good forward, and it's not hard to score when you got service, but you put someone that's a little bit more prolific and dangerous or lethal in front. We should have had that other one that Ollie missed, to be honest.
Yeah, he should be hitting the target more in those sort of situations. And there was times in the game that I actually saw him like drifting out to the left. And I don't know if that's going to be, if we bought, like you've been calling out for years, Tommy, like a proven 20-goal a season goal poacher, right? Like a proper center forward, right? Would that be the logical progression for Ollie to move him out to the left? I don't know, but like he's great. He works hard. He does all the stuff you want as a coach, right? But in those final moments when you need an absolute killer, he's not quite up there with the elite strikers.
Strikers get judged on one thing, goals, right? And unfortunately, that's what he lacks sometimes. Yes, he can score, but not consistency is key now as well, right? Like they score consistently. I was saying one in every game, or Haaland-esque, right? I said, but we've got money. We're not afraid to shell out. There's some plays out there, right? That can find the back of the net pretty easy.
Yeah, and we've only got one striker at the moment. Wouldn't it be good to give him some competition? Even exactly. someone that's at a similar sort of level that can, that Ollie's thinking, I might not start every week. I'm going to have to start bagging a few here. So I know something to think about. But I mean, I've seen silly comments this week on social media. People saying we've still got a championship team. Watkins, Cash, Konza, Mings, blah blah blah. They're all championship players.
All right,
and that is an absolute joke. I am not going down that kind of.
No, but compare our. Okay, I can remember most players from our first championship game against Sheffield Wednesday away, right? Pierluigi Galini in goal. We had Tommy Elphick. We had Leandro Bacuna. We had
Chester.
No, Chester hadn't even signed at that stage, I think. Like, we had, like, all these
Micah
players.
Richards.
Micah Richards was still there. We had, Ashley Westwood.
Ross McCormack?
So you're telling me, you're probably, but you're telling me that Pau Torres and Diego Carlos are worse or level with Tommy Elphick.
And actually, they can't even get into the starting lineup.
Exactly.
We paid, $30 million plus each for them. We've got $30 million centre.
If people say there's a championship side, they are just bandwagon fans that are just a bit emotional because
I don't know.
This is the best Villa squad I've seen in years.
If they're not happy, they can always just cross the river and go to Birmingham City if they think we're a championship team.
And the one star we've got is the manager. So I know that he's not getting much sleep from between now and Everton. He's going to be going over videos, looking at the players on the track, and he's going to figure it out. And I am willing to put this one down as just a blip, a difficult place to go, and a game where we dropped our bundle and shat the bed. But look, it's one game, and if we win next week, we're back in mid-table. So it's not a problem at all as far as I see it. But it was concerning. It was concerning. So like looking forward to Everton next Sunday. Where would you guys make the changes if you were going to make changes? Tommy, first.
Villa Jean for Bailey. McGinn, Dougie, Kamara, one's got to come out for Tielemans.
The talk is McGinn is the one going to come out, but I don't know. I think he's probably the one in there that gives us a bit of toughness. So
I told you he doesn't need to be there. He's got to be further up. So either we push McGinn up or we don't.
Yeah, it's difficult because Tielemans, Louise, Kamara, very similar sort of players. They've got very similar profiles. You look at, the best
problem.
Yeah,
Villa's
you look
more
at
a
the
box to
best
box.
midfielders. There's like a balance there. You got a hard man, you got someone who's good with the ball, you got a runner. They're all kind of similar sort of nice passing players.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see them two-footing anyone or
No.
winning headers and these sort of things.
They'd struggle against a Casemiro or a Declan Rice, to be honest. So that's the one thing we do lack. To be honest, we lack that enforcer. I'm just saying, Calvin Phillips doesn't seem to be getting much game time at City.
Yeah, but he's winning everything.
It's all right.
I'll go through my lineup. I think there's
Okay.
going to be a couple of changes. Obviously, one enforced.
Olsen in.
I think that Philip Marshall. No, I'm just joking. So Martinez, it'll go Cash again. I'm going to go Torres and Carlos in. Digne will hold his spot. I do think it's going to be Kamara and Tielemans. McGinn holds his spot. And I think Coutinho comes in. Coutinho, I think, it's against Everton.
Yep.
Former Liverpool player. I reckon he'll come in.
And he did have a few nice touches when he came on.
He did. I just don't... I love Philogene. And I think preseason he lit it up. I don't think he's quite ready yet. I think Villa needs is early points. Early points. And I think if, let's say, Villa won on the weekend, he's probably a bit closer. I think definitely first sub. And I obviously think Diaby and Watkins will finish that team off. But I think you need someone like Coutinho in there. His experience in the Premier League, his experience in football. Yeah. And just he's still technically one of our better players, like just on the ball.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a dogfight. And to be honest, Everton had their chances. I'm surprised they lost on the weekend, but that's football.
And they're going to look to bully us because that's what Newcastle did to us. They got physical. Right. They put the ball in the box from the set pieces. They won the headers. And they got guys like Tarkowski and these kind of guys that, we're going to have to be on it and we're going to have to be willing to really put in a fight and, blood, sweat, and tears and all that sort of thing because it's going to be a tough one. But I'm still predicting us to win. Should we do our predictions now before we move on to maybe transfer news?
Yeah, I'll go first. We always seem to beat Everton. I don't know what we got over him, but your brother must be filthy at that, Scotty. So in the Cooper Cup, I'm going to go a 2-1 Villa win. We just always seem to win 2-1 or something like by a goal. So I think it's going to be Diaby and Coutinho.
I will also go 2-1 Villa. I think it's going to be tight, but I think, it's a must win really for us. And I think Everton struggling to score. Surely we got to be better at home. And I'll say 2-1. I'll say Diaby and maybe Douglas Luiz, some sort of set piece from him. Maybe straight from the corner. Why not? Tommy?
4-0. Diaby hat-trick and a Carlos header on a corner.
Ooh. Well, we all predicted.
I think it's about retaliation, mate. So not just adjusting in game, adjusting post game as well.
Well, all three of us predicted wins for Villa last week.
Aman
went for the draw. So I hope that we're not all wrong again.
I'm keeping tabs on it, by the way, because there will be a tally at the end of the season on how well we did.
Okay,
correct scores or extra points. So.
Maybe I should start. Making predictions through my head more than my heart.
Tommy's 7-0 might not go in favour.
Oh dear. So there is the transfer window is still open, guys. So we got a couple of weeks to go in that, and there's been a lot of talk recently. Monchi's come out and said that we are definitely doing business. There will be more players coming in, and the three names, the three names that have been talked about the most. It was Jack Harrison, Zaniolo, and Acuna. They're the three that I've seen floating around on social media.
Jack Harrison's now signed for Everton.
So, really?
Yeah, because Everton wanted him. Then we made a late charge. He wanted to come to Villa. He was injured and he signed for Everton. So there you go.
Okay, so no Jack Harrison.
I think he would have been
Jack
a great
Harrison's
signing.
done.
He's got a lot of energy, good player, and he can actually play at left back. He's a makeshift left back as well.
Yeah, I liked him when I saw him for Leeds. But if that's not happening anymore, no real point focusing on that one. But I really do like Zaniolo. I think he would fit in well. I think he's got a bit of something that maybe we don't have in the bit of flair and goal scoring ability. So he's a proper striker. I really liked him when he was a Roma. So I would really like to see us get him and see if like Emery can like mold him into a really good player, because that's the kind of thing that's held him back, is that he's a bit wild, he's a bit crazy, he's a bit sort of inconsistent. So I think a manager like Emery could get the best out of him. Hopefully we could get him. And Acuna, World Cup winner, played for Seville, under Emery, I think. So
experienced as well.
Yeah, and that would mean that we've got 3 decent left backs. So I don't know if that's too many, but considering Moreno's out,
play on the right.
well, yeah, that is weird that we haven't looked for a right back, because we only really have one.
I don't get it.
What happened to Wan-Bissaka? Weren't we linked with him? I thought that would have been a pretty good signing.
Do you know one player that would have been quite handy to have on the weekend is
Alan Hutton.
Ashley Young might have been quite helpful just with his experience, his leadership.
Yeah,
I don't know, something in that. I would have kept Ashley Young, and I'm still a bit upset he's not in a Villa shirt, and he'll be lining up against us on the weekend for sure.
He will, and he, considering we didn't get a replacement, it kind of, it's a bit of a head scratcher, that one. The other news that I saw in the week was Hibs won 3-1 in their playoff against Luzern.
Yeah.
So it looks like that all British clash could be happening. Second leg coming up on Thursday night, so have to keep an eye on that one. Yeah,
I know. Owen's brother's already booked a hotel in Scotland, so hopefully they do get up. Yeah, he said he booked it at 1-0 and he came back. It was 1-1. He's like, oh shit. So for their sake, hopefully they get up.
Yeah, it would be good to see. I think that would be a cracking atmosphere, and be a great way to go back into Europe for the first time since 2009. Is it 2010, something like that? It was
2010 season. We played Rapid Vienna. And I think we beat them or drew them away, and they smacked us at Villa Park.
Yeah.
I remember watching it, and I just thought that was going to be a normal thing, like European football, and to think it's been 13 years.
Absolutely. And Rapid Vienna are in the Conference League, so
they'll beat us.
There is a chance we could get them again and get some revenge.
Our last 2 seasons in the Europa League, they beat us both times. So if we draw Rapid Vienna, I'm loading up on them to beat us again. It's just typical.
Well, that's
my little brother went to watch them. It was the Oscar. He works for an Austrian mob, so he went to watch the Rapid Vienna Rapid Wien derby. Man, there was fireworks being shot from the stands. They go wild.
They do absolutely crazy over there. Absolutely crazy.
But I still think a big name signing is going to come in. I think it'll be a forward, Scott. I genuinely believe it. I think I'm talking like shelling out big cash, bigger than Diaby.
So, but who's out there that fits that sort of mold?
My money is on who I predicted a while ago. I'm predicting Jonathan David. I think it'll be someone like him. Complements a Diaby style, would link up well with Watkins as well. I think Watkins will get shifted out to the left, and that'll probably spell the end of Bailey. I actually think Bailey will probably get sold off to Saudis. Not that I'm complaining.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, hopefully we get a lot for him if that is the case. But
Skittles, I'll be happy, Scott.
That's it. Well, just wanted to mention some of the Villa girls that have been in the Women's World Cup. It's been going on down here in Australia. It's been amazing. The Matildas, the Australian side, have been doing really well. They're into the semi-final against England, the Lionesses. So we've got Rachel Daly, of course, playing really well at left wing back for the Lionesses, which is weird, but we had Kenza Dali for France. Unfortunately, she missed both her penalties in the shootout, which meant that Australia went through the semi-final. But it's been a really good World Cup, and been really enjoying it, and the Australian public has got behind it. So hopefully Villa can pick up some of the stars that we've seen in this World Cup, because the women's game is on the up, and we've seen some
massively on the up. It is like this, just the crowds, and I've never seen the support for women's sport like this.
Yeah,
like they're opening up Amy Park in Melbourne, or Melbourne's rectangular stadium, whatever it's called, for the World Cup.
Yeah,
a live site for the game on Wednesday, and apparently it's like 30,000 ticket or free entry tickets have been sold to watch it at a stadium. It's just remarkable, and it's only going to benefit the game in the future. And hopefully, we see like the Women's Super League crowds continue to grow, and just women's sport in general, like the AFLW in Australia, Aussie football. But it's just a massive platform this could be.
That's it. And I really enjoyed watching, the Villa side last year when they were on, and I think we've got a good team there going. And I'm really looking forward to the later stage of this World Cup. I think I saw somewhere where it was the most watched sporting event in Australia since Kathy Freeman, in the 2000
It's ridiculous.
Olympics. So yeah, it's really making a really big dent over here, and looking forward to the game on Wednesday night.
Come on, AFL, give up the G. Stop being stubborn. Recognise the world sport.
They should have given up the J.
They should have. But I think Homebush.
Problem, right?
I think Homebush, the Olympic Stadium in Sydney, is better.
But I just
it's
want to
closer.
Go to it.
I know I know you guys want to go in Melbourne, yeah. But I can understand that. Sure.
3 out of the 4 are in Melbourne, mate. The place to be. It's not only our plates.
Sporting capital of the world, they say.
It is.
Okay.
It is, man. We've got so much going on here, even in the AFL, the Australian League, right? Like half all the best teams are from Melbourne. No offense, Noah. No offense.
No, the best teams from Sydney.
Okay.
Mate, you're telling that to a St Kilda fan that's never won shit. The heartbreak continues. But anyway,
I can't talk about West Coast because they are absolutely poor.
Oh man, points. What the hell?
Yeah.
Anyway,
awful.
I'm actually glad Monty's in charge. I really think there's a few ace up the sleeves. I think there's been a few deals in the works. So apparently Harrison was the Buendia replacement, had nothing to do with Zaniolo. So I guess more unfolds as time progresses. So would love to know what's happening with Minks.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting a few players in and bolstering up this squad a little bit for the European.
What do we do with Mings? If Mings is out, is it going to be Chambers and Consular in cup games, or
I think so.
Yeah, I mean we still do have 4 centre backs, and Chambers when he comes in last season he did pretty well. So in the Europa League if we played Consular and Mings, or Diego Carlos and Chambers, I'm sorry, if something like that, I wouldn't be too disappointed. I think they do a good job. So, but it'd be interesting to see who's going to be the starting 2 in the league. I'm guessing Torres and Consa, but I have to wait and see.
Torres and Consa, you reckon Torres and Consa, not Torres and Carlos?
No, I think Consa will keep his spot. He'll be given one more chance.
I think after that third goal, I don't know. I think Carlos has got to come in. He's been waiting for his chance.
I don't think Emmy will be as emotional as the fans. So I think I do think Consa will keep his spot. I don't want him to because I'm an emotional Villa supporter at the moment. But yeah, anyway, bring on.
Look, he's allowed one bad game. Let's see if he has another one. Then I'm right there with you. If we can't defend against Everton with their strikers, then yeah, he deserves to be dropped.
Do you see Carlos maybe throwing in a transfer request? Because I don't think he'd be satisfied with his role at the moment, given what he was probably promised under Gerrard.
The injury,
he hasn't performed yet for us.
Well, he hasn't played. There's a difference.
I know exactly, but he's got to get in there and play a few good games and show that he's still, what he was when he was at Seville. So, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, it could well happen. It could be Carlos and Torres, and I wouldn't be that upset with that either. So we'll have to wait and see until Everton on Monday. So yeah, thanks for all your support. Please, I hope it's not too bad a week for all you guys and girls out there. Let us know how you think we'll go against Everton. What changes you would make, please like and subscribe, hit the bell, and you can listen to us on Spotify now. Please go over there and follow us and have a listen because we don't have many people listening at the moment. Most of you are watching us on YouTube, and we love that. But go over there and check that out. And we will be back after the Everton match up the Villa, and we'll catch you next week.
Up the Matildas. Woo!
Up the Tillies.